What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Radiovania, episode number 54, your nerdy public radio for all things entertainment and pop culture. My name is Zach Ratello, at Zach Ratello on the Twitter, at Zach Ratello on Instagram, and on all the other social networking sort of things. And sitting across from me is the Peninsula living John Swansong Parker.
Yeah, it's not the years, sweetheart. It's the mileage.
That's true. So we're going to start working on that.
I'm going to start
television
doing out of
right?
context Harrison Ford quotes to open every episode. What do you think?
That's fine.
Kicking it in after episode 50. I
I
got to bring something fresh to the table.
If you can manage to get a new Harrison Ford quote in every episode for the next 50 episodes until we hit 100, I'll be very impressed.
No problem. So that was our first one. That's from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Okay.
No, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Is that Raiders?
Yeah, it's Raiders.
I was going to say, I was like, I don't recognize that.
I was thinking that because there's a Indiana Jones Temple of Doom poster staring.
It's a great poster, and by the way, I like that it says this film may be too intense for younger children on there.
Yeah, well, this is the movie that
PG-13
introduced PG-13.
Yeah. But the theatrical poster still says PG.
No, it's PG, and it came out, and they had to have that warning. And then after that, the Motion Picture Association was like, maybe we should have something that's between PG and R, because that was a little intense, but it wasn't like
it's
foul.
not R
it wasn't
rated,
foul
yeah.
enough to be R. So then they're like, let's come up with something else, and they're like, well, what's the age? And then that's when they decided on PG-13. So you can thank Steven Spielberg for coming up with that medium ground.
He reinvented the action movie, and now he's about to reinvent the world with Ready Player One, the most anticipated film of all time.
We'll see.
So we have a lot of great stuff to talk about today. If you've never listened to an episode of Radiovania before, you're in for a treat. This is going to be a really fun one because we have a lot of cool news to talk about. Basically, these shows are kind of just, oriented around what's going on in the world of pop culture, what's going on with movies, television, video games, entertainment, just anything that we really want to talk about. We have good conversations, so we want to bring those conversations to you, the viewer.
People of the world.
So anything do you want to catch us up with, John, before we jump into news or anything like that? Is there anything that you've been watching, playing, listening to that you want to talk about that you feel noteworthy?
I have recently replayed Arkham Asylum on the PlayStation 4 on the Return to Arkham.
This is a long time coming because you really wanted to get the Return to Arkham when it first came out.
Yeah,
never got around to it.
Got it for Christmas, played through Arkham Asylum, 100% almost, besides challenges.
Yeah.
Found all the trophies. Just had a lot of fun running around as Batman.
Cool.
Still holds up. I think it's still really fun. Obviously, it's an HD port, so it looks like it's still a PS3, Xbox 360 game like when I played it the first time.
You were saying you were having a few issues with gameplay, especially bosses.
It gets a little choppy. What I was saying regarding the bosses is you could tell like the style of it is a little dated as opposed to how mature and realistic they got towards the Arkham Knight boss fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Other than that, I was playing Battlefront 2. Still probably one of the only 50 people out there playing it. But
oh no, there's tons of people still playing Battlefront 2. They're idiots, but they're still. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I've been playing Battlefront 2 every now and then.
Yeah.
I jumped in a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, I'm gonna pop in some Battlefront, play some Crate. Didn't get it. Played for an hour, didn't get Crate. I was like, well, or not Crate.
Yeah, Crate.
Crate? That's what it is?
Okay,
planet? Yeah, the Salt Planet. That's my new favorite map, dude. That map is awesome.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's really well laid out. It's stressful, intense. It's visually just gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Stark saturations in colors in video games tend to work really well for me. So, like, I'm fine with, a drab-looking Call of Duty that looks very gritty and realistic. But every now and then, it's really fun to play like something like Horizon, where it's like colors everywhere, blues and reds and oranges and like all these bright fluorescent colors. So
yeah, sure.
I appreciate color in games.
Yeah, and then I just finished reading Star Wars from a Certain Point of View.
Awesome.
Which is the 40th anniversary anthology of short stories taking place from different perspectives of people throughout the course of the storyline of A New Hope, which is really good. There's a lot of good chapters in there. And then there's some stinkers in there, too, that like I read like a page or two, and I was like, I don't really care.
What do you think the percentile is? Do you think it's like 70-20?
For good to bad?
Yeah.
I would probably say it's more of like 60-40.
Really?
Good to bad, yeah.
Interesting.
Not necessarily that they're poorly written, but some of them are just a little uninteresting. I mean, when you're trying to come up with 40 short stories, I think you start to run out of ideas.
Well,
but there are some ones that I didn't think I would enjoy that turned out to be like some of my favorites.
Cool.
In the course of the
Well,
novel.
I might borrow that book from you.
Yeah,
and what I
sure.
might have you do is tell me the ones to
Tell you the
read
good ones,
because I don't have any time.
Yeah, no, I'll put little asterisks next to them in the table of contents. I was planning on doing that anyway, so that if I wanted to go back and reread a story, I could be like, "Where's the Qui-Gon chapter?
Cool.
Oh, there it is."
Nice.
And then just read it.
Anything else?
Comics, grinding like
yeah.
usual. But yeah, that's about it. Been working,
Yeah.
grinding up here in this harsh winter that we don't actually have outside right now.
Yeah, today's
but,
balmy, nice, like 50. It's got to be like 50s at this point. Yeah.
50s, 60s.
Good day for day drinking.
It was really cold last week, I swear.
Yeah, last week was freezing. It was freezing up and down Cincy too.
Yeah.
So for me, haven't watched a whole lot of movies recently. I'm still trying to get to the theater to see Shape of Water. We'll see if that ever ends up happening or if I'm just waiting for home video. We'll see. Video games. I bought PlayStation VR since the last show. And so I've been messing around with that a lot. I found a bundle. It finally dropped below $420, which was around the price range that I was looking for. It was hopping around between $450 to $460. The bundle regularly priced is $500. I managed to get it for, I think it was like $410. I used some Amazon points to get it. Came with 2 Move Ones, the camera, the headset, Skyrim VR, and I bought a few games to go with it. I bought the free PSN, one of the free PlayStation Plus games this month is a VR game, and they're starting to include those every month. It's called Starblood Arena. It is a arena-based shooter, spaceship shooter, and it's really fun.
That's cool.
It's a little more cartoony than I would probably like.
It's like Rocket League.
Yeah, it's kind of like Rocket League, but it's very intense. Great visuals. The player base is growing, so it's a lot of fun. But I bought Super Hot, which is still, I think, the most impressive game I've ever played in VR. That was the one that sold.
Evil?
Huh?
Resident Evil?
So I wanted to buy a horror game, and I think I'm going to wait on Resident Evil for a little bit. It's hard to find a cheap used copy right now. A lot of it's sold out everywhere, and right now I think it's still $30 digitally on the PSN store. And so I bought a lot of smaller games that were like between $5 and $10, and I've been playing a lot of those, like just experiences to kind of try everything out. But man, if you're out there and you're considering PlayStation VR, let me tell you, you're getting in it at a good time. I think PlayStation announced, it was a news story that I'm not going to bring up on the docket today, but PlayStation announced that there are going to be at least 100 new titles, VR exclusive titles, coming in by the end of 2018. And if it's anything like the 150 that already exist on the PSN store, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. A lot of these games are quite hefty, and they're really thoughtful and designed, and even funny. Like I played the game from the Rick and Morty guys, the Squanch. It's Accounting Plus. I think it's $10 right now. It's about an hour and 15 minutes of gameplay. But there's a platinum, and there's like a lot of stuff to do. Like you can go back and play it and get new endings and stuff like that. And I was like rolling laughing because it's a different kind of humor. Like you get to experience a lot of things in a way that I've really never gotten to experience it. And Batman, by the way, Batman Arkham VR is still awesome. I know I'm way late to the train on that, but like Arkham VR is cool. It's kick ass. Like you feel cool. I mean, like
the Batman.
Yeah, I mean it's a little less. There, I haven't personally. I played 2 or 3 chapters, and I haven't gotten to a section with any sort of combat. It's mostly detective stuff, which I know.
I'm about it.
That's John's about.
Let me solve murders. I would just be lost in there for days.
I really hope that Rocksteady like keeps that momentum. I would love to see them do a full length VR Arkham game. I mean, I would totally dig that.
That would be really cool. I'm curious to see what they do with that, depending on how this one
goes.
Because this one's pretty short, right?
I've heard it ranges from like the 4 to 5 hour length.
Still a decent amount. But
it's 2 movies and it's $10. So
like
it's
a full length Arkham VR experience where it's just like you drive around in the Batmobile and you like go to places and you're solving. Like it could be like someone like Victor. You could go small, like get like a Zaz killing spree and you're solving these murders and stuff like that, or something with like the Penguin laundering drugs. Just something small. It doesn't have to be like him fighting the Joker, the Scarecrow, and having all that combat stuff like in the other Arkham games. But a really cool long detective story that you can immerse yourself in as Batman. take all the monies that I have.
Yeah. And the only VR thing on PlayStation that I've yet to try out because I'm debating actually doing it is, I don't know if you remember, but on Battlefront 1, they added in a patch, I think like a year after the game came out, a VR X-Wing experience, or TIE Fighter experience. So you could I was right, X-Wing. Yeah. You get in an X-Wing and it's like, I've heard it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But you have to install the full game and all the patch and
it's the deluxe game.
Huh?
It has to be the deluxe game too, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think it was free. I think it was a free update. Just the X-Wing mission, I think was a free update. So I don't think you have to download the season pass. But you still have to download the whole 50 gigabyte plus game, and right now I just don't have the space on my PS4. And speaking of my PS4, it's breaking. So can we hear or what's taps? I was trying to sing taps.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone out there is having trouble with their PlayStation 4 right now in terms of randomly shutting down, I will get back to you about my experiences with trying to fix it myself. But right now I'm waiting on ordering. I ordered from Amazon a security screwdriver set, which you need to unscrew the back 3 screws on launch PS4s to get into the actual console.
So you have a launch one.
I do. I bought it day one.
I think I have the second iteration of it because mine has the updated controllers where the rubber doesn't come off of the sticks as easily.
Yeah.
If I really want a PS4 Pro though. I know it's like I don't need one, but it'd be cool to have.
And the thing is that
I want that terabyte.
I know. Well, the Slims come with a terabyte of data too.
Oh, they do?
They do, yeah.
I want the Pro though because down the road I think it would be cool to have a 4K.
Yeah, I
want to play The Last of Us on that 4K screen or Uncharted 4. Would be amazing.
And even if you don't have a 4K TV, you still get that power bump. It's not going to chug as much. It's not
frame per second is a little better.
But VR is actually improved on the Pro. So it's like snappier menus, a little bit, just so it's like
more Batman.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my PS4 update of the week for you. In case you guys in case anyone's having experiences with those problems, I don't know, drop us an email or whatever. Let us know if you have ever had experiences with PlayStations. I've never really had a Sony console die on me.
That's strange.
So their hardware is immaculate. And I mean,
my PS2 is going to run until the end of the days.
I mean, to be fair though, I've played my PS4 for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I've had it every day since launch.
Would you say that's your most prized possession?
It's definitely the piece. It's definitely the item in my home that I use most often.
Besides
that's not
toilet.
that's not like necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that. I mean, thankfully that PS Plus offers cloud save storage and save data management or whatever. Because if I lost save games and stuff like that, I'd be friggin' devastated. But
I didn't know they stored stuff on the cloud. That's good to know.
If you have PlayStation Plus, you can upload your save data per game, whatever save data you want, to the cloud. I think we get 10 gigabytes of space or 5 gigabytes of space.
Does it do that manually, or does it?
It does it automatically sometimes. You have to go in and manage it for certain games.
Okay.
So I would give it a look. Not that you need to worry about it if your PS4 is still working and kicking, but luckily it's like a fail-safe for people like me that's like, now I can't turn my friggin' PS4 on, so what am I going to do? Looks like I might just have to buy a new one, or I'm going to vacuum it and see if that works. So John, why don't we jump into the news?
Let's do it.
This isn't necessarily a news story, but I did think that it would be cool to bring up on the show.
Let's jump into the news. This isn't really a news story.
This is a great podcast.
Yeah. The best in the universe.
There was a gentleman on Reddit. I believe I don't have his username up, but I'll give you the website. John, have you ever been frustrated with Netflix and searching on Netflix for movies?
No.
You've never been frustrated about that?
You mean like how it works, or just like I look for something and it's not there?
Either or.
If it's the latter, yes.
Okay.
I'll be like, why isn't this on Netflix? Yeah.
Okay. So,
but not like the interface. The interface.
I have problems with the interface sometimes because I feel like I feel like Netflix's search tools are just not all the way there. Like they give you the categories. I wish there was a way to like filter movies by actor, yada yada yada. This website is the best one I've found so far, and it was on the front page of Reddit, so most of you might have seen it. But it's called Flixable, FLIXABLE.com. It's an independent website, not affiliated with Netflix, but it has a complete search tool for all the movies and television shows that are on Netflix, when they're leaving Netflix, how long have they been there, in what quality can you stream them, on and on and on. And it sorts by popular category and everything like that. So if you really want to check to see if something is on there and you want to find it fast, like if you like, I had no idea that Lord of the Rings was even on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
The theatricals?
I think it's the theatricals.
Boo.
But still,
No,
it's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, like,
if you're like in an airport and you're trying to kill time,
there you
just
go.
Throw on the Battle of Helm's Deep.
So I know that a lot of people have
Miss your
problems
flight.
with. I know a lot of people. Yeah, miss the flight. I know a lot of people have trouble with Netflix sometimes. So
Okay.
There's your search tool.
Flixible.
Flixible.com if you ever want to check that out.
For Flixible.
I really enjoyed that service.
Yeah.
John, let's talk about some terrible movies.
Justice League.
The Razzie Awards.
Okay.
So the nominations for the 38th annual Razzie Awards have been announced to honor the worst films of the year. Worst picture. Should we just go through the nominees here? A few of the nominees?
Yeah.
All right, so worst picture, the Baywatch reboot, the Emoji Movie, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, and Transformers XVII, The Last Night.
Do you think Universal is just like our dark universe? It was so short-lived.
I actually have a news story about that.
Yeah.
Let's bump that up.
Okay. But yeah, anything that you think should be added to that list that you saw this year?
Justice League.
Really? You think it's that bad that it deserves a Razzie? It's Batman v Superman bad?
It's a different kind of bad. Let's put it that way.
Okay. I do not think it is that bad to be a Razzie-nominated movie.
I don't know. I can't really think of anything else that Cal might argue that Colossal would go on this list, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other people that really enjoyed it, though. I think
that's true. It did get
that one's a little more divisive as opposed to like The Mummy. I think everybody universally agreed it was bad. You know. Yeah. Okay. So what else?
Worst actress: Katherine Heigl for Unforgettable, Dakota Johnson, 50 Shades Darker, Jennifer Lawrence in Mother, Tyler Perry in Boo 2, a Medea.
He's nominated under the actress category. That's funny.
That's pretty funny. And Emma Watson in The Circle. I didn't see any of these performances, so I can't comment.
I did not see any of these movies.
I saw 50 Shades of Grey, and Dakota Johnson is not good in that movie. So
that's the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That movie
The third one's coming out this year, right?
I think so. It's a trilogy. It's the best trilogy of our times.
They're almost done. What is the best trilogy of our time?
Probably Star Wars.
To come out in our lifetime.
In our lifetime? Yes. So since we've been born.
Since we've been born.
Dark Knight trilogy.
It's between that or the Apes trilogy for me.
Ooh, I'd give the hand up to Batman.
Yeah,
there.
I think so too, but it's close.
Worst actor?
They really brought it for the sequels, in both of those
did.
trilogies, actually. All right, anyway, next.
Worst actor, Tom Cruise, The Mummy, Johnny Depp, Pirates, Jamie Dornan, 50 Shades Darker, Zac Efron, Baywatch, Mark Wahlberg for Daddy's Home 2, and Transformers.
2 for 1, he'd better win.
Yeah, shout out to Marky Mark.
I think I found a Transformer with my daddy, Mel Gibson.
Worst supporting actor, Javier Bardem for Mother and Pirates, which I don't know if that's necessarily accurate.
The more I think about it, the more I don't really like Salazar.
What?
Yeah.
I like Salazar. Russell Crowe in The Mummy, which I didn't even know he was in The Mummy.
Yeah, he's Dr. Jekyll.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. He transforms into Hyde in the first movie of the Dark Universe. Yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't go see it, but I read up on it, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. It makes you really think that those Brendan Fraser Mummy movies are just, like, pristine.
Yeah, so while we're on it, I want to read this story about the Dark Universe because...
All right, quick sidebar.
I want to talk about this.
We need sound effect transitions. Double Jeopardy.
Universal trying to salvage Dark Universe's Bride of Frankenstein films. This comes from comicbookcbr.com on the 15th of January. It says, Bill Condon's remake of the classic 1935 horror movie Bride of Frankenstein will resume pre-production after Universal removed the film from its release date in October for more script work. A production team has been assembled for the film, including cinematographer Tobias A. Schischler, Wrinkle in Time, production designer Sarah Greenwood from Beauty and the Beast, composer Carter Burwell, No Country for Old Men, and costume designer Jacqueline Duran, Beauty and the Beast. Javier Bardem is still set to appear in the movie as Frankenstein's monster, but there's some doubt as to who will play the titular bride of Frankenstein.
They wanted Angelina Jolie.
Yes,
right?
prior to the stoppage, Angelina Jolie was in talks, character. However, filming on
Porky the Pig over here. That's all, folks.
Angelina Jolie is that. However, filming on Maleficent 2, which I didn't know that was coming up, will likely render her unable to take the role.
Just CGI her face in there. Superman lip style.
There were also rumors that Gal Gadot would play the bride, but her filming schedule is quite full for the next year, so it's unlikely that she's involved.
She would be a good Bride of Frankenstein. They're looking for those cheekbones, that's like the Bride of Frankenstein thing.
It's set to take place in the Dark Universe, which is a shared cinematic franchise that includes The Mummy, Invisible Man, The Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Tom Cruise,
Van Helsing, and The Wolfman.
And
however,
Scientology.
Following the critical and financial failure of 2017's The Mummy, there was some doubt about the future of the Dark Universe. So, does this cement the future of that? Do you think this Bride of Frankenstein movie happens?
I do.
You think so?
I think people are dedicated enough these days that they will push out any amount of shit as long as it involves getting it out of their body and into the toilet. Metaphorically speaking.
No,
I think it'll happen. I think it could be cool conceptually, but based on The Mummy, it sounds like they're not executing properly, so whatever.
We don't need to read all of these, but we're supporting actress. A couple there's from The Mummy, Sophia Boutella. I don't recognize a few of these names. Susan Sarandon from A Bad Mom's Christmas, which just sounds like a dog pile. Worst screen combo.
These are funny. This is hilarious.
Any combination of two characters, two sex toys, or two sexual positions. 50 Shades Darker. Any combination of two humans, two robots, or two explosions. Transformers. Any two obnoxious emojis. The Emoji Movie. Johnny Depp and his worn-out drunk routine. Pirates. Tyler Perry and either that ratty old dress or worn-out wig. Boo. To a Medea Halloween.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. Worst remake, ripoff, or sequel. Baywatch, Boo 2, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, and Transformers.
It's all the same movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same five.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, those did get a fair amount of negative praise.
Yeah.
And then you're right. So there's a couple more repeats down there, so I won't go into those. But there you go. Bad movies. Everybody likes them.
Speaking of bad movies, I watched The Room last week.
Yeah, it's after we saw The Disaster Artist.
What a funny story, Mark.
Yeah, what a movie.
Yeah.
Good drinking game for it, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's plenty. Anytime someone says, I don't want to talk about it or don't worry about it, you would be bombed. Or I don't love him anymore.
So, talking about bad movies. From StarWars.com, the official synopsis for Solo, a Star Wars story, has been revealed. I was telling John earlier, when I saw this headline, I saw Solo revealed in the headline, and I was like, oh, trailer, it's time. It's time for the trailer. Let's do this. Let's see what this movie... And then it was like, oh, synopsis. You gotta be shitting me.
Baby steps. We're 4 months away. Baby steps.
Quote, board the Millennium Falcon and journey to a galaxy far, far away in Solo, a Star Wars story.
Why are you reading it like
An all-new adventure with the most beloved scoundrel in the galaxy. Through a series of daring escapades deep within a dark and dangerous criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian in a journey that will set the course of one of the Star Wars saga's most unlikely heroes.
And then attached to this article is it translated into Wookiee, which I will read. It's like Chinese. There's like characters take up multiple words.
What do you think about this?
I mean, it's a synopsis.
But
it's kind of what we all expected.
But like
the state that we're in.
I mean, what does this mean? Like, why?
It means you're gonna board the Millennium Falcon and take off on an adventure, meet all your favorite fans. It's like a walk down memory lane, you know. But it's something that hasn't happened.
It's just so
Criminal Underworld means we're gonna have Jabba, we're gonna have Boba, we're gonna have Daenerys Targaryen, probably Tyrion.
Stormborn, last of her name.
We're gonna have Woody Harrelson and all this fun jazz, dude.
Yeah. I'm big time worried about Solo.
We were talking at the comic store today with JC, who runs the shop here.
Shout out to JC.
Yeah, shout out. And Super Bowl will probably be the time, at least we seem to think, that trailer will drop. We'll see, though.
Okay. I'm going to have an unprecedented moment here.
No trailers?
Drink bet.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yeah, let's see if I agree to the
The drink bet is not whether or not a certain thing will happen. I want to bet the score.
Okay.
You ready? I want to know...
Oh, like the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Drink bet...
I thought you were talking about like the musical score.
For Solo.
Drink bet for Solo.
I want to know what you think it's going to score on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'll even be bold enough to allow a win within a 10-point scale. How does that sound?
So we're doing a 10-point scale and a Rotten Tomato percentage?
No. I mean, like, say I
points?
think that the movie scores a 65%.
Okay.
It'll be accepted if it's 55 or 75.
Okay. I gotcha.
Or 65 or whatever I was going to... Whatever. What did I say?
You said 65.
I said 65. So 75. So I would allow anything in a 10-point scale.
What about 5?
You want to do 5
10's
point?
a little too big, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Let's get precise.
Okay. So Zach and John.
That's me.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
I think that Solo, a Star Wars movie...
Story.
I'm going to aim low. I think 65.
65. Okay. I think... Do we have to do it in increments of 5?
That's a good question. No, not necessarily.
78%.
78%. Okay.
Certified fresh.
So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so either way we don't
overlap. Both of ours
overlap.
would be certified fresh, correct? Because it's 60. You just have to get a certain critic.
Yeah, I think
response.
It has to be the weighted scale is a little bit different.
I'm going to go with 78 and certified fresh, throwing a little extra shot in there.
And fresh. Zach says 65.
No fresh.
And no chill.
No certification.
Zach says 65%. And I don't know. Hammer time. From GameSpot.com, Star Wars The Last Jedi director defends missing... Oh, we need to shake to make a drink beneficial, right?
Spit shake. That's disgusting.
Yeah, oh yeah. The Last Jedi director defends missing Knights of Ren. Rian Johnson didn't want to have to kill the Knights of Ren. This comes from January 18, 2018 at GameSpot. I'll just skip right to the quote. He says, "Truth is, I just didn't see a place for them in the movie," he says. Looking at the story he told with The Last Jedi, Johnson says the only place the group might fit in is during Kylo and Rey's fight with the Praetorian Guards after the death of Snoke. However, he thinks that would have fundamentally changed the scene. No shit. Quote, "I guess I could have used them in place of the Praetorian Guards," or however you say that. How do you say that? Praetorian Guards. But then it would feel like wasting them because all the guards had to die, he says.
There you go.
And if Kylo had some kind of connection to them, it would have added a complication that wouldn't have helped the scene, end quote. So this quenches one of my biggest fears, was that they killed off in unceremoniously boring fashion without any build-up the Knights of Ren, which are a group that I really want to see explored in 9.
They'll be in 9.
I hope so.
I second what he said. I also think that, they weren't in The Force Awakens besides potentially that Rey flashback thing.
Yeah.
This movie picks up right after The Force Awakens. There's no way in hell, wherever they're at, they would really just be on Snoke's ship. They're Kylo's boys. They're probably at wherever Kylo's home base is, which, as of right now, all of The Last Jedi's in space. So we still don't know where the First Order's headquarters is, unless it was on Starkiller and then They're kind of just like Roman, but I'm sure they have like backup stuff somewhere. And
they have giant dreadnought ships.
Yeah, I would imagine that the Knights of Ren are posted up at Kylo's pad, and they're just like hanging out, crushing beer cans, and they're like, yo, Starkiller got destroyed, and they're like, that's all right.
Playing Battlefront.
They're like, Kylo, you want us to come? And he's like, no, I'm busy. And they're like, all right, see ya. They're playing Battlefront too. I want to be Rey. No, I want to be Rey.
Heroes versus villains.
Yeah, so they'll show up in 9. That's a JJ thing.
Anyway, oh yeah, for sure. Can't wait.
Rey versus Ben and the Knights of Ren.
I want to see it so bad.
And Ghost Luke shows up to just bring the house down.
I want to see it so bad.
Yeah.
From comicbookmovie.com. You won't believe how many protesters gathered outside Warner Brothers demanding a Justice League director's cut.
Too many.
This was from January 7th, so this is really early in the month. The planned protest received an awful lot of attention online. It's fair to say that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people were aware that it would be taking place. That resulted in a grand total of 13 people showing up, and it's fair to say that this photo is unlikely to make studio execs, none of whom were at work on Saturday, think twice about whatever they had planned for Justice League.
You ever think sometimes we live in like an elaborate joke world?
Look at these nerds. I'm a huge nerd, man. I would roll with the best of them, but man, this is some hardcore nerding right here.
They want that Snyder cut.
And to their dismay...
To be honest, I want to see it too.
Well, they announced the Justice League Blu-ray, and there's no sight or sound of an alternate cut. In fact, there's only one deleted scene included on the DVD.
And it's probably...
It's Aquaman stuff.
You think?
No, they already talked about it.
I was going to say, too, that or the Flash meeting Iris West or something. It's Aquaman stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Aquaman's coming out soon. Got to get people excited somehow. Next.
From comicbookmovie.com. Also, in line with the Warner Brothers stuff, WB will now reportedly adopt a, quote, fewer cooks approach to the DC universe.
Cue too many cooks.
Too many cooks. According to the Wrap, WB will adopt a fewer cooks approach to the DC Films universe in the aftermath of Justice League's disappointing box office run. This means that newly promoted chairman Toby Emmerich, which, do you know Toby Emmerich at all? Do you have any... What's your connection to him?
He was working with the Blumhouse stuff, right, for a little bit?
I don't know.
I thought he did.
Okay.
I watched the thing about it. I already forgot.
All right.
But yeah.
This means that Toby Emmerich will no longer have to greenlight by committee and will answer to no one but CEO Kevin Tujihara.
That's the guy you need to be worried about.
Yeah. Apparently
no
this...
offense, Kevin.
Yeah.
But it seems like everything he's like, no, we need more Batman and everything.
More a Batman.
Oh.
Add Beatles. Add more Beatles.
Deathstroke. We need Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Joe Manganiello. We need that guy.
One insider reveals that many at WB felt the decision to exclude Henry Cavill's Superman from Justice League's promotion was bizarre and may have ultimately cost him a bigger opening weekend. Some of the blame for this seems to have been laid at the feet of veteran marketing chief Sue Kroll, who is said to have, quote, hated superhero movies. End quote. She vehemently denies this and has now moved into a producing role. I'm taking it down from the inside.
Can you make a Justice League poster? I hate superhero movies. Stop asking me to do this. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It remains to be seen if this shakeup...
What a clown show.
Yeah, it's... It remains to be seen if this shakeup yields any positive results, but one thing is for sure, Tujihara wants the DCEU, or whatever it's officially called now, to forge ahead without attempting to duplicate the Marvel formula.
Yeah.
Quote, Warner Bros. Needs to continue doing what it's always done, producing the biggest, most diverse slate in the business. That's what's made it successful. We can't do what Disney's done. It's worked really, really well for them, but it's not who we are. We need to continue to create a balanced slate of all types of movies and all genres. End quote.
Boom. That's the key to success right there.
Easier said than done.
You know
WB.
what?
Easier said than done.
You know what Warner Brothers reminds me of sometimes? You know that episode on Parks and Rec when they're having that speech on the ice rink? And they're trying to walk out to the podium and they all keep falling.
Get on your feet.
Yeah, because the carpet's too short to get to the podium. That's Warner Brothers.
And the stage is Matt Reeves with the Batman script. He's like, come on, guys. It's good over here. I can stand up. It's okay.
It's really good. It's going to make so
It's got
much
the Joker and he doesn't have a tattoo. It's okay.
It's got Jake Gyllenhaal.
DC's Shazam is set a 2019 release date. That's pretty much all we need to say about that.
Isn't what's his face playing Shazam? Zach Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi,
the dude from Tangled.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever. The Cyborg solo movie is reportedly still happening, and it's going to be an origin story,
which is what Justice League was.
Yeah, exactly. So the origin of Cyborg
all the deleted stuff from Justice League. They're just gonna.
We have a whole nother movie here.
Yep.
Just fix it in post.
Yep.
Quote. So Morton. Who's Morton?
That's his
Joe.
dad.
Ray Fisher and Joe Morton seem to believe it's going to happen, and the latter has revealed in a new interview that it's still in the cards. Asked about the status of the spinoff, the actor who plays Victor's father indicated that Cyborg will be an origin story. He says, quote, "From what I understand, there will be a Cyborg movie. It will be about him and I, about the family that he came from, and how he becomes the Cyborg, but from whence he came as well." End quote.
Nice use of whence he came, but unfortunately this movie is still not intriguing to me.
No one cares.
This is like Ant-Man and the Wasp for me. It's
yeah,
like, okay.
I do not care about Cyborg.
Yeah.
No. And I'm only going to hang on this for a brief second because this is completely unsubstantiated. It's all rumor. But a UK entertainment blog posted, express.com.uk, posted that a source, what is it? Hold on. An insider has spoken out to Revenge of the Fans, claiming that it's an all but a done deal with Gyllenhaal as soon as Affleck decides to hang up his cape. The sources said Gyllenhaal is probably Batman. Affleck's not out of it yet. He still has a contract, but the studio is sour on him. If Ben rolls, Jake is in. Kind of a weird web. These guys both know they control each other's destiny. End quote. So
don't you just want to see two Batman fight in one movie?
Batman.
Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman.
The clown show starts back up again.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. So
just get Jim
take
Carrey.
this with an unbelievably big grain of sea salt. I don't know what else to say about that other than I don't know.
Could be the Batman.
We'll see what happens. Also, comic book, lots of Batman news, so hang tight. We're almost through it. Ben Affleck was reportedly approached about directing the Flashpoint movie as recently as last week.
He's just like, leave me alone.
Ben Affleck only comes out of hibernation to get cups of coffee and like give the finger to the paparazzi. This is on January 17th. It says, Yesterday brought the news that Warner Brothers enlisted John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein to helm the Flashpoint movie. But the report also mentioned that the studio had first come to Justice League actor Ben Affleck about taking the gig.
They're like, hey, we know you don't want to direct your own Batman movie, but what about a character that you don't play? And he's just like, get out of my house.
Since then, there have been conflicting updates on this. Collider's Steve Weintraub claiming the Academy Award-winning director was never approached about the film at all. However, Variety's Justin Kroll, who broke the story, has now shared an update of his own. According to him, WB may have offered Affleck the job as recently as this week. Justin Kroll says, I don't really have time to debate or argue the Affleck element of my Flashpoint story, especially since the news is that Daly and Goldstein got the job. All I'll say was that Affleck was approached by WB and directing it in the last week, and that's coming from people in his camp and from WB. So believe it, don't believe it, I honestly don't care. I've moved on to the next one. End quote.
Yikes.
Of course, Affleck passed on the offer, so this is all moot now, but if this is accurate, it does suggest that Daly and Goldstein were enlisted very late in the game and were likely far from WB's first choice. The editor also adds, probably not a great sign.
Yeah, why? Okay, never mind.
I mean, it's all messed up, dude.
Yep.
It's all messed up.
Crossing the streams. It's just not going well.
So I don't know. I mean, Flashpoint. How do you think an Affleck-directed Flashpoint is even a good idea to begin with? I say give it to some other people. Let some other people run with it.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. I think if he didn't want to do Batman, then I wouldn't necessarily worry about giving it to anybody else. Like, I can't see him wanting to direct any other character. And, I mean, the Flashpoint book does have a lot of Batman stuff in it, but it's, if you haven't read the book, it's Thomas Wayne Batman, so it wouldn't even be him. So, like, he would literally just be directing it and then making an appearance as himself as the bookends of the piece.
Yeah.
not a horrible idea, but it's a lot more sci-fi than I think he's used to. I think him doing Batman was the most realistic option.
And I think that's what he was excited about, too. I mean, it's like, oh, hey, we have great, we're making these DC movies connected. We want to try and, make the Justice League movie. And Ben Affleck's like, yeah, I would love to be Batman. Like, sign me up. What's going to be my first appearance? Am I going to start writing a script? It's like, yeah, start writing a script, and then we'll figure out what the first appearance is. How we're going to introduce this character. And then they knock on his door about 10 months later, and they're like, oh, by the way, you're going to be in Batman v Superman. Yeah. You ready? And he's like, oh, okay. Well, so we're introducing Batman that way? We're not doing a solo movie? Like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Oh, my goodness.
And then the whole ship just went down from there.
Yep, Titanic style. I think, honestly, my dream pick for a Flash director, and I guess it has to be Flashpoint for some reason, would be Matthew Vaughn. I think that'd be really good.
Cool.
Just because the way he handles Kingsman and X-Men: The First Class, those were very fun, yet good comic book movies.
I like the idea of Matt Reeves doing it the best. I think
No, I'm talking about Flashpoint.
Oh, I would like Matt Reeves to do Flashpoint. Whatever.
Oh, you want him to do Flashpoint too?
Why not?
I don't know. That's a good point. Why not?
I mean, his Batman movie is not going to come out for like at least 4 years, 4 or 5
Andy
years.
Serkis to be Clayface in his Batman movies. Just
that'd be
mocap
cool.
That.
That'd be cool.
That'd be rad.
How about Andy Serkis as everyone?
Actually, yes, I like that. I like where your head's at. Actually, Andy Serkis as Killer Croc would be pretty cool.
That'd be
too.
cool.
Yeah. Cool beans.
I can see that.
Anyway.
Do you like John Wick?
Yes.
Okay. John Wick TV series is in the works. It stars with Keanu Reeves attached.
Mm-hmm. He's producing.
But he's not acting. Yeah, he's producing.
He might show up.
It's called The Continental, and it's about the hotel and like the criminal underworld of all that. What do you think about this? Are you excited at all? Does this...
I mean, I would dive into it eventually, yeah. I really just mostly like...
Woo!
Bless you. I really just mostly like that first John Wick movie. I didn't even see the second one.
Okay. I heard the second one
I've heard it's enjoyable. Cool. That's that action style I really like between that and Atomic Blonde, which I also haven't seen. I like on paper, I guess, but yeah. It's cool. Steady cam stuff.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
All right, cool.
John Wick's just a fun movie to throw on. And you're
still not watched it.
Dude,
you would check it out.
It's cool. It's just like, just like throw on a fun... Keanu's a fun person to watch in general,
I like Keanu, too. He just seems like a nice person.
Keanu should be Batman. You heard it here, folks. Joker, whoa.
That's not a bad idea. Keanu Reeves as Batman. I mean, like, he'd have to bulk up a little bit more. He's not, like, the most jacked dude. But
yeah,
he'd look better than Affleck, that's for sure.
Affleck looks great as Batman. I don't know what you're talking about. He just has horrible things to do and say.
What about Dad Bod from Justice League? Remember that scene?
Yeah, that was a little strange. But,
very strange.
That's the reshoot problems. I mean, you can't... I mean, he's going through divorce and stuff. There's a lot of external factors that you probably... Or I don't know about,
They had to take breaks between him chugging whiskey and...
Seriously, filming. I mean... That scene where like him and Wonder Woman have a glass of bourbon, they probably did that multiple times.
Ben was like, we need to do it again. We roll the cameras back. We didn't get it.
Like, Ben,
I didn't get it.
They're like, Ben, we got it. He's like, no, we didn't.
We got it just when I say we got it.
Start the camera. And he's like, this is worse.
Whedon's like, okay, sir, whatever you say, sir.
Whedon's like, this is worse than Ultron.
Whedon's got his hands in it. He's like, I have no strings on me. I have no strings on me.
What a good poll. That's awesome.
Leonardo DiCaprio is going to star in Quentin Tarantino's Manson movie.
But not as Manson.
And it's actually come out that the movie's a little bit more in-depth than the Charles Manson murders. It happens to take place at that time, but it doesn't sound like...
It centers on that.
It sounds like... The movie is described as a 1969 set ensemble piece that in some way involves Manson and the murder of Sharon Tate. But apparently Leonardo is playing like an actor, a Western actor on TV or something like that.
It seems like
I'm just curious to know how this is all going to go down.
It seems to me like it's in a way that La La Land was like an inside track of the industry while also adding a really creative spin to it. It's like that with Tarantino, where it's going to be like, you might have a Western actor and then like theater and musicians and just like people in Los Angeles at the time.
I'm picturing Hail Caesar.
Yeah, something like Hail Caesars. That's a great poll, but with a little Hateful Eight added twist where people all just get capped at the end.
Sign me up. Hail Caesar was good, but it didn't have enough momentum.
Bloody gun battles.
I could use a few more hard F-bombs on that one. So
yeah. I need to go. Hateful Eight's on Netflix. I need to rewatch that one.
I don't know if I would ever rewatch Hateful Eight.
I mean, I think about it. There are parts that I really like.
Yeah.
Walter Goggins.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, that mustache is legendary.
I would rewatch the scene of them in the carriage talking.
The opening is really cool. I think the third act is where it lost me.
I like the twist, but then everything after the twist, I was like, all right, let's move this along just a little bit faster.
Because the build-up was so intense. And
And
then
then the turn happens, and I was like, oh, okay. So we're ready to jump into Marvel news. We have four Marvel stories. So we're going to cannonball this.
Okay, Marvel Power Hour, go.
Collider.com, Avengers 4 has wrapped filming, and the Russo brothers move into post-production. A number of high-profile actors from the MCU have confirmed as having wrapped their time on Joe and Anthony Russo's untitled Avengers movie in recent days, but now the directing duo themselves confirmed that Avengers 4 is well and truly wrapped. I'm still not expecting an official title until after the May 4th, 2018 release of Infinity War, but I'm placing all my bitcoins on it being New Avengers or some variation on that theme. Remember,
the New Avengers,
the actors, that's what he's guessing, the editor. Remember, the actors, characters of the MCU as we know it didn't just wrap on the most recent Marvel movie, they may have actually wrapped on the entirety of their Marvel career. Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige recently confirmed that with another 20 movies on tap that they are taking the MCU in a new direction. And
another 20 movies? Oh my god.
Contracts are expiring on Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, and Chris Evans.
So the original Avengers.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to have to bid farewell to some very famous faces, and since Avengers 3 and 4 were shot back-to-back with the latter's title being withheld for spoiler reasons, it makes sense to keep the cast of both movies under the same roof. All the better to keep the spoilers under wraps. Infinity War arrives this May, with the finale of Avengers 4 dropping a year later, May 3rd, 2019. Be prepared.
I'm ready.
I'm so ready.
I'm stoked.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's getting me more hyped for it than more than I think about it.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be called?
That's a good question. I don't know the storyline of Infinity War.
Just throw it out there.
I like the idea of it being called... I don't think New Avengers is right to call this one.
No.
I think it's still got to be Avengers, something. Maybe like Avengers Extinction or something like that. I don't know.
Dang. I was just thinking Infinity Gauntlet. Because I think by the end of this first one, he'll have everything through the gauntlet, and it's just gonna be crazy. But
I don't know. Infinity War is succinct enough and includes Infinity. I think it would be redundant for them to say Infinity War then Infinity Gauntlet.
So they had Age of Ultron. Could they have Reign of Thanos? Something like that.
They could.
Electric Boogaloo. Boom. Done. Moving on.
We did it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to be released in 2020. This comes from comicbook.com. Fans have been long speculating to when James Gunn's third installment of the Guardians franchise will release, and now thanks to Gunn himself, we know that Guardians Volume 3 will be released 2020.
So they're all 3 years apart. That's the perfect spacing for movies.
Yeah. News broke earlier this week that Marvel had hired a writer to be a script for a solo Black Widow outing, and Chris Hemsworth said he had talked to director Taika Waititi on a potential Thor 4.
Would you want another Thor sequel that's like Ragnarok?
After Ragnarok, yes, 100%.
I would agree.
I want to see Ragnarok too.
Is that what you just start calling them? Is Ragnarok?
Ragnarok.
Ragnaroks.
Ragnarok on, brother.
Oh man, nice. Yeah, I'm hoping he makes it out because now that they've opened this door, I just want him and the Hulk continuing their buddy or even him and Valkyrie or something.
No, whatever. I want to see it.
Heck, I mean, by that time, you could have that fourth Thor movie. I mean, like, he could establish some cool friendships with some of the Guardians. And since Thor is now very cosmic, he could be, like, hanging out with Star-Lord in the next Thor movie. Which would be amazing. Or Rocket. Oh, yeah! He's just like...
Oh, yeah!
He's like, here, let's a trash panda attack. And he, like, throws Rocket. And he's like, I'm not a panda! Ah! Flies into something. I'm writing it.
Why did Rocket have Danny DeVito's voice there for a second?
I'm not a panda! Get Danny DeVito in the next Thor. He's the new Odin.
The phone's ringing. It's Kevin Feige. He needs your ideas.
Throw that Mjolnir in the trash.
Throw the meal. So from IGN.com, Venom first look at Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and the full Brazil Comic-Con panel video. So this requires a little bit of viewing. Did you watch this? Okay, so with the upcoming Venom, Sony is branching out from the studio's universe of Marvel characters with a darker take on the iconic Marvel anti-hero.
Is this the photo, right?
This is the photo.
Just a picture
it's just a photo of Tom Hardy.
Venom looks sweet. Have people analyzed what's on the notes?
They have. I forget what's in there, but it's not. It's nothing really important. It doesn't. I don't think
it just says "ha ha" jokes on you.
But I highly suggest you guys go and watch the little clip of Tom Hardy showing up at the Brazil Comic-Con. It's his first appearance in public publicizing the Venom movie. No trailer, just the set photo. He walks on and he gives a promise to the audience. He says, quote, "We want to be as true as possible to the comic with our film, but our story is primarily based on the Lethal Protector and the Planet of the Symbiotes book." Or no, this wasn't him. Never mind. That was what Fleischer said.
Fleischer.
They don't have Fleischer or whatever. They don't have quoted what Tom Hardy says, but he comes out and he's like, "I want to promise," in this like cool.
What he should have done is been like, "I'm Venom. And I'm Spider-Man's reckoning. Anyone here willing to challenge me?"
And then Tom Holland stands up in the crowd, and then everyone
I'll
freaks out.
fight you, Venom. Yeah.
But yeah, I was really impressed because obviously Tom Hardy's a busy man. He's in the middle of filming a movie. Usually you do like comic cons. Venom.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, that's my. I'm retiring from Radiovania. Effective immediately.
But he got up and he was like, "I want to promise you that," he's like, "we're going to give you the best Venom movie that he's like, "I want to give the best interpretation of this character that I can possibly give." He's like, "I'm going to give my 100% all." And he's like, "We got you all t-shirts or whatever." There's a t-shirt under every chair, but he's like this really cool Venom t-shirt. And he's like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like getting psyched on. He like throwing some like rock out to the crowd. He just seems really excited about the movie, and that more than anything gave me like a really cool like jazz moment. I was like, man, if Tom Hardy's actually like seems like this is what Ben should have been, you know? Like I never once felt excitement about Ben Affleck wanting to be Batman, and Tom Hardy's playing a character that's not.
You mean you don't believe Ben Affleck when he comes out and says, "I love playing Batman"?
I love Batman. It's the best. Batman's great. Where do I sign?
Did you see that Tom Holland is going to be in Venom?
Yes, that's the next story.
I'm psychic.
Tom Holland will reportedly appear as Peter Parker, but not Spider-Man in Venom.
Okay.
Quote,
Nice
Tom Holland was on
Marvel.
set. Tom Holland was on set filming scenes in Venom from the last 2 days as Peter Parker. Okay, so I'm not saying that Spider-Man is in the film. When I say that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in the film, I'm saying Peter Parker is in the film. This is a cameo. I don't know what it is. I didn't read the script. This comes from Shep from Collider Heroes.
John Schnepp.
So yeah, there you go. We know at least that, and this goes to what I said. Didn't we talk about this in an episode a couple months ago? I was saying like whatever. Shut the hell up. I was saying like
I said that there's no way you could do this movie without Spider-Man,
and I bet,
and you said that he would be in it, but in a small role, and I said that that's heinous and that he needs to be in a larger portion.
Yeah.
He does need to be in a larger portion.
No, we all know that he's Spider-Man. So if you're going to if you're going to try to make Venom as well-rounded a character as Peter Parker Spider-Man, then it makes sense to have an entire movie focus on him.
I don't know.
Well, moving on from Variety, John Williams is on target to set yet another Oscar record. With both The Post and Star Wars Last Jedi in the running this Oscar season, composer John Williams, who has already had 50 nominations, more than any other living person, could earn a 51st or even a 52nd nom. Both films stem from working relationships that date back to the 1970s, both of them studded with awards and recognition and success. The Post is Williams' 28th film for Steven Spielberg, a partnership that began with the directors The Sugarland Express. The Last Jedi is the composer's 8th Star Wars movie, having launched the original George Lucas space franchise in 1977. So just wanted to shout out for John Williams.
That's amazing.
Just like an unbelievable life accomplishment.
Yeah,
there, man.
He's the best.
Not many people will be able to ever do what he did.
I need to go see The Post just so I can listen.
I've heard mixed things
about the movie. Or
about the
his
movie.
Score.
About the movie.
I'm there for the score. And Tom Hanks.
What about Meryl Streep?
Yeah, I forgot she was in it too. Who else is in that?
I don't know.
It's a Spielberg movie though.
Spielberg, Tom Hanks, Streep, journalism. I'm assuming heavy political commentary, which I'm fine.
Okay.
From Deadline, Stranger Things Millie Bobby Brown in legendary film deal to produce and star in Enola Holmes mysteries. Brown developed a relationship with Legendary as she completed a starring role in the Michael Dougherty-directed Godzilla sequel for Legendary and Warner Bros. Did you know that she was in the Godzilla sequel?
I didn't even know they're making a Godzilla sequel.
It's a connected universe, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh, like the Skull Island
Yeah.
Kong? Right on.
The book series began with the 2006 title The Case of the Missing Marquis.
Marquis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The series spans 6 novels revolving around mysteries investigated by Sherlock.
Bop me on the head. Bop. Sorry.
Sherlock and nice pull. Thanks. Sherlock and Mycroft Holmes' much younger sister, Enola, who proves to be a highly capable detective in her own right. The first and fifth books in the series were nominated for Edgar Awards in 2007 and 2010, respectively. What do you think about Millie Bobby Brown being young Holmes?
Give her stuff. Give her things to do. That's great.
So what's really cool, and I never thought about it before, someone put up a photo on Reddit of Millie Bobby Brown, a great photo of her, side by side with Sigourney Weaver as Daisy Ripley, and they were like, how cool would it be to have a young Ripley movie? Or like have Millie Bobby Brown be that character, or like maybe not even have to be that character, but just
be her daughter.
Something like that. Oh yeah, it could be her daughter.
Aliens,
yeah.
Remember, she wakes up and her daughter's already dead. So you could do the story of her looking for her mom. Oh, boom. Ridley Scott, call me up. Actually, I don't want you to do it. Somebody else.
But I have this vision that Millie Bobby Brown, I think, is going to be long respected for her work in Stranger Things and remembered for it as such. And
I would agree.
think
besides episode 7 of the last season.
Yeah, but even in that episode, she's still like great.
No, I know.
So
I'm just poking fun at
Yeah,
it.
for sure. But
I'd still watch that over a majority of television.
I would as well. I would like to see Millie Bobby Brown follow a same career path as Sigourney Weaver. Like, she's kind of
a sci-fi queen.
Not like a sci-fi queen, but like she's known for being in roles that are a little bit more out there and like fun, different. Like she's always doing something a little bit weird. Like I don't know, like John Boyega was in Star Wars, right? I had this high hopes that John Boyega was going to be awesome because I loved him in that, and then he does like Pacific Rim,
which you haven't seen.
Which I haven't seen.
So he could be great.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen
Did you see
Pacific
Detroit?
No, but okay. So yeah,
because I heard he was good.
Yeah, I heard he was great in Detroit,
and he's also in The Circle, which I heard is a terrible movie. But you can't put that all on him, right?
But it's like John Boyega took like every role available to him after Star Wars, and now he's a great actor, doing well for himself, which I'm happy for. But everything, Millie Bobby Brown has been in 2 seasons of Stranger Things. She's given 2 perfect performances, basically. Mm-hmm. I would love to see her continue that streak with something different, like, and I think that like an Alien. Like
maybe not even connected to that franchise,
yeah,
but just like something along those lines.
Something along those lines, man. I want to see her do something cool and star, and I think that'd be awesome.
Come up with a really good IP, or let her be Ellie in the Last of Us movie in a couple years.
She's gonna be too old.
How old is
right
she
now
now?
Is probably the age that you want for Ellie.
How old is Millie Bobby Brown? Is she 14 or around that?
I don't know. How old is Ellie in The Last of Us? 14. She's 13 years old.
Oh, well then, yeah, make it now. Make it now.
Flip the switch.
Her and, who do we decide on for Joel?
Troy Baker.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
What about, Josh Brolin as Joel?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan wouldn't be a bad Joel.
How much would it break your heart if he was announced as Joel?
I would have to see it before I knock it completely down, just because I love.
But you'd be
so much.
But I think you'd be heartbroken.
I would be a little disappointed that they couldn't do better. Yeah.
I love this hatred that you have for Josh Brolin. I don't understand.
I like him in The Goonies. That's it.
Okay, so a little bit of video game.
We're never
news.
gonna get him on the podcast, are we? Josh Brolin's probably like, those Radiovania guys suck.
You retweeted us the other day and you missed it.
Did he?
No, not at all. No one famous has ever, I don't think, listened to us.
One day, if we keep blowing somebody, they're going to be like, all right, throw us the retweet.
Can we put all of our chips down on Sophie Turner, please? Sell! Price is high. From AV Club, NBA Jam's announcer wants to resurrect the game for its 25th anniversary. NBA Jam The iconic sports video game turns 25 this year, and according to Tim Kritzkow, the game's iconic Tim Kitzrow, the game's iconic announcer who introduced catchphrases like "He's on fire" and "Boom shakalaka" into sports vernacular, this silver anniversary could help spur a return to the arcade basketball series. While talking with ESPN about the LA Clippers NBA Jam night, where he'll be sitting in as a guest announcer, Kitzrow said he's involved in some capacity with an unannounced Jam revival. Quote, "I can't speak anything to the specifics, but I can tell you there's a movement in the works to get it done for the 25th year," Kitzrow told ESPN. "So I'm hoping that we get a remake that does justice to the original," end quote. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, give me that.
The NBA Jam that came out for Xbox and PlayStation in 2000 and...
Does that say Clinton?
Yeah, you could be Bill Clinton in the original in tournament edition.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was awesome.
There's your team right there. Starks and Ewing.
Oh, that's my dude, me. Give me Patrick Ewing any day of the week.
Ewing.
NBA Jam for PS3 and Xbox 360 came out 2010, so that's 8 years ago. So it's been 8 years since a proper Jam game.
I remember when that came out.
And I love this version, by the way. I think it's great. It's not... I would love it if the new Jam had an option where you could switch between these kind of 3D graphics and the pixel 16-bit graphics.
Yeah.
Because I love the 16-bit Jam games. I mean, like those are where my heart's at. Like, those are the best ones in my opinion. Yeah,
arguably.
My favorite arcade game of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
And I would just love to see them do... I would love to see them go balls to the wall with it, too. Like, do a bunch of different modes. I would love to see complete rosters, like classic characters. Oh, man.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. My only hope is that it's not a total sellout for the 25th anniversary and they make it like a $10 downloadable game and it's got loot boxes where you have to, like, you open up shoe boxes and you get characters and skins and
characters,
like
people,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful yet I'm hopeful and optimistic, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
And lastly, on the docket, the last video game news is Nintendo Labo. You know, have you read about this yet?
No, but are you excited about it?
No.
Okay.
So, what is Nintendo Labo? A couple days ago, Nintendo posted a video on their YouTube channel, which I'm going to direct our attention to now. They just recently had a Nintendo Direct, but they didn't announce this here. They recently had a spot at, Gamescom, and didn't announce it there. But they did decide to drop a trailer in the middle of the day, for whatever reason, Nintendo Labo.
And they're back to their normal self.
Well, so people on the internet are having mixed reactions to this, and I am not exactly sure how I feel about it yet. But essentially the concept of Nintendo Labo is that it works intimately with your Switch and your Joy-Cons, and the prices, which I'll get into, are interesting. But the Nintendo Labo kits are supposedly a combination between video games and craft building and toys.
This is very Japanese.
So this is Japanese. I mean, like, it's Japanese, but it's like, it's also like models and like, it's like, I mean, like, I've seen these kind of things in hobby shops and everything like that.
What the heck is going on?
But it's really, the tech behind it is actually the most interesting part to me. It uses, like, what we're watching right now is the piano set, which is one set. You buy the set with the piano. It comes with the piano. It uses the IR sensors in the Switch Joy-Cons and the tablet to read the keys and play the notes that you're playing in real time.
Dude, I think this is sweet.
It's cool.
Look at that fishing pole.
I just have a lot of questions about the game. I have a lot of questions about the quality of the materials and the build materials.
Yeah. Based on a first impression, though, I'm sold. This is sweet.
I mean,
this is where the future is.
This is like,
look, you're fishing.
I know it's a cool concept. I just have doubts about.
It's a robot.
I just have doubts about a lot of the quality of the things and the prices behind it, which I'm not entirely sure I love yet. I would love to try this out before I bought it, but I know that that's kind of like impossible. Look, you can be a robot, and then your movements translate to in-game play.
This is nuts. How much is it?
So let's get into that.
$200.
What is Nintendo Labo? Make, play, discover. Start with a piece of cardboard. Build a 13-key piano, a fishing pole, or even a motorbike. Add your Nintendo Switch to power it up and hold a recital, catch a fish, or win a race. With Nintendo Labo, building is just as much fun as playing.
That's
fun discovering how it all works. You might even invent new ways to play with each toy creation. That's Nintendo Labo. What will you create? So they give examples of all this stuff. It launches April 20th, 2018.
420? Are you kidding me? Someone's gonna be like, dude, that's Labo.
Oh man, it's Labo. Oh no,
I'm making a piano.
So they're available to pre-order, and they're going to be holding trials at certain stores, Nintendo locations that you can go and try it out before they launch. Here are the kits. Let's pull this up here. So the best deal right now at the time of writing can be found on the base.com website, which has the Nintendo Labo Variety Kit going for, this is in euros. I'm backing out. I don't understand euros. No conversions.
They're more than $1.
Games Radar. Let's go to Games Radar.
Let's go there.
Oh, what's the Nintendo Labo? When can I get it? Yeah, April 20th in the US and April 27th across Europe. Initially, only 2 kits will be available, but what Toy-Con kit? So they're called Toy-Cons also, which is cool. You know, Nintendo, whatever.
Yeah, it's cute.
Toy-Con 1 Variety Kit includes 5 Toy-Con kits, RC cars, 2 cars included, fishing rod, house, motorbike, and piano. The RC cars get a Joy-Con each inside them and then use touch controls on the Switch screen to control them. The fishing rod comes with a wheel that's attached by a string to a cradle that holds a Switch. The game involves catching exotic fish that swim across the Switch's screen by casting your do and unwinding the reel to lower the hook. I want to know prices.
Who came up with this?
The Variety Kit is $70.
Oh.
The Robot Kit is more expensive at $80. The customization kit of stickers and tape is $10.
Do you ever think you'd want to pay $70 for cardboard?
No, and I won't.
Yeah.
I will not be paying full price for this.
Whose idea was this where they're like, let's take cardboard and make it into a video game? And they're like, okay. Basically, this is like, you remember when Lego had those like battery-powered robotic things for a little bit? Where like you build it and then like R2-D2 could roll around. Did you ever see those?
No.
This is what this reminds me of.
I don't remember that at all.
It was like...
It was official Lego stuff, though?
Yeah, it was, but they look like wires, you know? It wasn't brick-based. It was like... I don't know. I'll show you later.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that's an interesting... Labo.
But yeah, so Nintendo Labo launches April 20th. I think it's a neat... I think the concept behind it is cool. And I think
really cool.
A lot of the tech seems really cool, too. Like the IR readers and they show a camera one where it's like you can actually... like the robot one even looks cool. Like...
What happens if you step on it?
That's the thing is like you're paying $80 for a kit.
For cardboard.
Yeah, for cardboard. My hope is that... I wonder what the tech is like. I want to know how well it holds up and if the cardboard is like especially sturdy or anything like that. But I bet people are just going to make DIY kits.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And those are going to be way cheaper.
Or cooler. They'll be like lightsabers or something.
Yeah. Like licensed stuff that you can't get Nintendo to do. The problem is that the Nintendo Labo kits are intimately tied with the Nintendo Labo games. So it's like each kit comes with a game where you have to create the thing to play the game. So if you get a DIY kit, you still have to buy the game to get to use the kit to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like... So I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think because we know so little, and this concept is just very new.
It's very exciting.
It's a combination of new and old. So
okay.
All right. Well, John, I think with the news concluded, I think it's about time that we dive into the Dat Cave.
Yeah, I think this is the first Dat Cave of 2018. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Introduce it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you would. I was going to do the sound effect.
Oh, let's go to the Dat Cave.
See, it works well both ways.
There you go, yeah. So this one, in honor of the Razzies, was also a conversation we had at breakfast this morning. I want to hear about movies that you really like that are considered bad movies. So, like, movies you love that other people do not, or that the critics would deem not good, you know? It's like movies out there that, you know, for some reason, maybe you saw it when you were a kid and you thought it was great when you were a kid, but if you watched it now, you're like, oh my good God.
Oh my good God.
Yeah. So what do you got? We'll just go one for one and just like throw them back.
That's
there
fine.
And maybe talk about
the first one that came up this morning was for me, I thought about A Clash of the Titans, the Sam Worthington, Liam Neeson,
Ray
Fiennes. Yeah, I actually thought that movie was pretty good. It's not great.
Doesn't Uma Thurman play Medusa? Like a really CGI'd Medusa?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
But
why?
I don't know. The action's not really there, but I like the set design. I like the way that what they were able to accomplish in terms of like Greek mythology Greek mythology, right? Mm. And everything surrounding that I thought was really cool. And I don't really like Sam Worthington very much, but he did a good job of like embodying kind of like a soldier type grunt character. I liked Liam Neeson and Ray Fiennes as the gods, as Hades and Zeus. Mm-hmm. I thought that they played cool off each other. The problem is that they never got to fight. So it's like, there was a lot of wasted potential, but I still thought it was like dumb fun. And I really liked the Pegasus scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
But seriously, it's a bad movie, but it's like, I thought it was pretty good. You have one for me?
Fred Claus. It's actually one of my favorite holiday movies. Vince Vaughn and what's his name? Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti plays Santa, and Vince Vaughn plays his brother Fred. And it's just two brothers getting into hijinks.
It's just two brothers.
It's just two brothers. Kevin Spacey's the IRS or something trying to shut down the North Pole. It's good holiday family fun, but it's not a good movie. I just really like it for some reason. I'm a big Vince Vaughn fan. So
yeah. Batman and Robin is another one.
Yeah.
I'd toss out there. It's campy.
Don't leave the cave without it.
Yeah, it's fun. That card.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not much more I can say about Batman and Robin. Although it's like, I mean, like, best things it has going for it: production design.
No,
you don't think so?
I don't like how they made Gotham look like bright and fluorescent.
I thought it looks cool.
Like a.
I mean, it looks unique. It looks unique.
It's like an acid trip Gotham. I really like the Mummy. The Brendan Fraser Mummy, which I think the first one is pretty much thought of as pretty good, but it's still like, it's a very campy movie as well. But I think it's really fun, hilarious. There's this, have you seen it?
What? Which one?
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
With Brendan Fraser.
Some of it.
Dude, we should.
I
think I found out what we're doing tonight.
Are we watching The Mummy?
A drinking game for The Mummy.
Oh my God.
There's this great part in it that I won't dive into because I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's this little character called Benny. I don't know. It's just always made me laugh, the interactions that he has with Brendan Fraser. Whoa, sorry.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I remember I bought that at a Blockbuster when they were like going out and like selling stuff. And I watched it and I just thought it was so hilarious.
Oh, okay. So I'm going through worst movies of the 2000s. Knowing with Nick Cage.
Ooh.
Good movie.
I was going to say National Treasure.
National Treasure is a great movie.
I know.
Are you kidding me? People don't like National Treasure?
I mean, if you look at like things that are...
What am I living?
He's very Nick Cagey in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like The Rock or anything. What in the name of Zeus's butthole? Yeah.
Oh, man. Knowing, dude.
Pirates 3.
Knowing. Pirates 3 is great. I don't understand.
Again, I'm talking about critically.
Yeah, well, okay, so the Pirates movies I've always been curious about because, like, I feel like most people like those movies, but then they're critically just, like, destroyed. Like, the only one that critics seem to like is the first one, and then the other two are, like, below 70, right?
Below 40.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Pirates
first one's a 70 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Pirates 1 is like an 8.5. Pirates 2 is like an 8. Pirates 3 is like an 8. No lower. They're almost perfect.
All right, I got one for you.
Night at the Museum.
I got one for you. A bad one that I really like. I don't know why. I do like Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I don't know why. I think it's called.
Wake me up inside.
I think it's
Can't wake up.
I think it's the really bad early 2000s soundtrack.
Do you think he sings that to himself every day when he goes to work?
Colin Farrell for some reason.
Colin Farrell.
I don't know. I like Colin Farrell's Bullseye.
I do not like Colin Farrell very much.
I know you don't.
I thought his best role was Fantastic Beasts in a while.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good job. Oh man, some of these are really bad. Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell. That's a bad movie.
Never saw it.
Do you like Garfield?
The Bill Murray one?
Bill Murray's Garfield?
No.
Do you have any regrets? I don't know. Maybe Garfield. That movie, I'm glad that movie exists because that joke is awesome.
Yeah.
What else do we have in here? Triple X. Do you like any of those? Mm-mm. The Doom movie with Carl Urban. You ever see that one? Dwayne Johnson and Carl Urban?
No.
Bad movie.
Yeah.
Snakes on a Plane. What about Snakes on a Plane?
That's a pretty bad movie. Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of them out there that are.
Oh, Sucker Punch.
Do you like Sucker Punch?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's not as bad as everyone says it is. There's some cool fight choreography and really great CG. It has a story that is like completely wackadoo. And have you seen the extended edition?
I haven't seen it at all.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I have no desire to.
You should watch the extended edition of that movie. It's actually not bad. It's really like it's like one of those movies where it's like it's like you feel bad for it almost because it's like I could see what Zack Snyder was going for and it just didn't quite turn out the way that he thought it was going to turn out because the message that it conveys is completely different from the movie that exists. I also thought it was like kind of timely because it was like around like the start of all the superhero movies and like all the hype around that, and they were like, well, let's make a group of badass girls that can just like fight whatever. And like,
so in terms of progression,
yeah, I thought Sucker Punch was okay. It's not. I don't think it's a total piece of shit that people think that it is. I'm also partial to early Zack Snyder movies, so I really like Immortals with Henry Cavill.
The Centurion one.
That one got absolutely panned by critics, but I thought it was like a lot of fun and really cool action.
That explains why they're like pals.
John Hurd's in that.
Okay.
Really cool. He plays like this old sage dude. Yeah. Really nice. The mythology aspects are cool. And 300 I thought was, most people like 300. But.
Yeah. Another bad one that I like is I do like X-Men Apocalypse for parts of it, but I wouldn't say overall I like it, so maybe not including that on this list. But
X-Men Origins Wolverine is a trash pile, but it's like a fun trash pile.
Yeah, Will.i.am's in that movie. That's pretty great. And Liv Schreiber.
And Pippin.
Yeah. Oh, I got one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Armageddon. I don't know what it is. Every time it's on, I just get sucked into it. Just to hear you breathe. I mean, that Bruce Willis thing at the end really gets you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Taken 2.
Oh, no. That movie has the worst cinematography of all time.
Yeah, but I mean...
What about Jonah Hex?
That movie is horrible, and I do not like it. Or Green Lantern.
I'm just thinking about all the movies that I absolutely hate. I'm trying to think of a movie that I like.
Shrek 2. There it is. That's the one. That's what it was trying to rattle around my brain. Love that movie.
I hate all the Shrek sequels.
I know. I think Shrek 2 is better than the first one. It's my favorite. I love it. I love it. Love it. And with that, we're done with the show.
Yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I can handle.
Go watch Shrek 2. It's worth the rewatch if you have given up on it.
Or spend your time doing any other thing. All right, well.
Saved by the Bell college years. I could go on for days. There are a lot of bad things out there, but embrace them. If you love bad things, that's okay.
Yeah, love what you love. I mean,
love is love.
You're allowed to love whatever you want to love, but I'm allowed to make fun of you for loving it.
I would agree with that. I think that's fair.
Like, you can have those debates.
I'm allowed to think that The Last Jedi is better than The Force Awakens.
And I'm going to tell you that you're full of beans.
Everyone else is going to tell me that I'm full of beans. But I'm right in my mind. And that's all that matters.
But I'm right in my mind.
Oh man!
All right.
Well, that was all we had for that.
Yeah, that was a fun little show there. I think we had some laughs. We shared some memories.
We laughed. We cried.
I feel like some electric piano should be playing right now.
Yeah.
If you like the show, you can support us in a myriad of different ways. There's a lot of great things you can do to help us out. We're just two guys, just two brothers, hanging out in this room doing podcasts. And you can go to Radiovania.com. It's our YouTube channel. We don't have a typical website, but it directs to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and you can like videos and comment and engage in conversation there. You can watch all of our short films, including The Few of Us Part 2,
Which we didn't have a premiere for.
We
Next
didn't have.
time, we need to start premiering things.
It's just that no one would be around. We wouldn't be able to premiere it until next. It'd be like we'd have to hold it, you know.
Yeah, I guess. Next time, baby.
Next time. Few of Us Part 3 is going to be a full musical.
I'm thinking the Few of Us Part 3, I think we should shoot for like a half-hour short film musical. And we do a premiere. We come up with a theatrical release poster, an IMAX poster.
You have to show your ass to sell that movie, too.
I would show my ass in that movie, yeah.
Full back nudity.
There's no going back. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Do you think we can convince Michael to do full frontal?
Yeah, probably.
Just give him a Milwaukee tool belt. Let him wear it around his waist.
Okay, it sounds like we're making a porno for the third one. I'm
open-minded. I'm open to ideas.
I like the narrative. I think there should be a rap battle at some point, a rap number.
Okay.
You know, musical dance, jazz, salsa, just like all music genres thrown in there.
Yeah.
Hard rock, metal rock, during the fight scene. Yeah, it'd be great.
All right. And then you can follow the show at Radiovania on Twitter. You can follow me at Zach Rotello. You can email the show at radiovaniashow@gmail.com and email us with your questions, comments, concerns, and topics. Connor, no email this week. What the hell?
New year, new Connor.
Yeah. All right, John.
I love you, Connor.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
See you guys next time.